Hello everyone and welcome to yet another Crown Royal Truck Series test, the last paid test of this off-season here at the Texas Motor Speedway. This kicks off the testing weekend of the Texas weekend, as the Cup will be at Texas World later on this afternoon. Got a lot of drivers out here, 33 in this test, which is surprising because we really have not seen more than 30 most of this testing season. So 33 coming out to the last test. I'll probably see up to the full 42 car testing grid for that Daytona test, since it is free as long as you're taking an entry down to Daytona. But a lot of guys pulling on out, starting to get their laps in. Texas has not been on the schedule, I don't think, in a year for the Crown Royal Truck Series. We're going to see if they'll be coming back to the Lone Star State in some fashion now. A lot of drivers coming out. There's Jacob Edson in that bright purple number 32 testing truck for Simtech Racing Incorporated. So they're making their first lap. Slowest at Michigan was not very good, but they're having some SBR funding with that Edson drive, so hoping to see that 32 team improve over the season, as this is their only second start in an NSDCA sanctioned event, even if it is just a testing session. And there is the hometown boy, Jay Jefferson, the home state for Texas Star Racing, and right now, off the bat, Riley Spurleytube goes to the top of the charts, but we still have a lot of testing to go. Jay probably going to be finishing up front like he always does in these testing sessions as they run. But Jay Jefferson right now, he's going to come across the line. I think this will be his first lap in the books there, and yes, he does, right to the top with a 28.956 on his opening lap. Texas Star Racing wants Texas State's back on the schedule. That's why they pushed for this Texas testing weekend, to try to get these tracks back into tip-top shape for this series of racing. And Jay, happy to see that he is back in Texas. It wasn't a long drive for him to get the cars out here, so that's also good for him and his financial situation. Jacob Rose in the 90, I believe this is his first Crown Royal Truck Series testing start this time around for Kamikaze Motorsports, as he works his way to the inside and past Jose Perez. As they run now, Riley Spurleytube goes to the top of the charts with a 28.3, Jay 3/10 off with a 28.6, but has a big amount of momentum on Perez back there in that 35. But as we were saying, Jacob Rose, first time in a truck this offseason, I'm pretty sure, at least I know, on the ovals this offseason, as he has ran at Road Atlanta earlier in that testing session. Road course driver, not really an oval guy, has not gotten his first career win yet in the NSDCA, hoping this season will change that with a move to Kamikaze Motorsports, and hoping that his skills will be able to be enough for him to graduate to Launch Auto like Austin Delgado did for this season in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Out here driving this number 90 truck, just trying to keep it clean as they run pace laps, trying to get this car up to tip-top shape for the season. Kyle Corbett in the 19 up here. He has not had the greatest of testing sessions this offseason, but he's done very well, as Jose Perez is just going to fly past him on the outside. Looks like Corbett real slow on that inside line, as everyone's about to pass him on the outside if Jay gets a run too. But Corbett looks to be holding up a few guys. Just Rockstar Energy Racing, not the fastest truck, not the fastest team. Corbett is the only race winner that has ever driven on RER, or driven for RER, as he won last year twice in the DPDS. Of course, Kalen Nosler has a career win. He drove for RER, but did not win on Rockstar Energy Racing. Corbett now starting to drop back in that 19, as now he's back with Jacob Rose. 33rd quickest right now after his first few laps, and that is the slowest out of all 33 drivers in this grid. He still has a couple laps to get up to speed, hoping that he will be able to get up to speed, as you see the 32 drop to the bottom. Drop to the apron back there, and that lap's even slower for Corbett, so it looks like the setup or the equipment just not working in their favor today, already dropping very far back. Riley Spurleytube continues up front. Sebastian Kukulon just put that 20 truck up into the second fastest position. If we can go find Sebi as he's making his laps around there. There we are, as we were talking about his team, Rockstar Energy Racing. He's looking forward to Sauber's year this season, his first year since his inaugural season on Ford Performance Motorsports that he's not part of his own team. So hopefully now that he can focus on driving for that 20 team and trying to go and get some wins there with some very good equipment, he might be able to do so, possibly get his first career NSDCA victory. Alex Benyako in the 83 has now moved himself into the third fastest position. If we can find that bright 83 there, as he's fighting right now. Cody Goforth in that 27 truck. Third quickest right now. He's not been to many tests, as we said. He hasn't been to all of them, while his opponent, the number 48 truck, has. Benyako lucky to be back in, especially after those injuries last year at Talladega. He's waiting for DJ Gibson to join him back in the truck series. And, of course, no word on Jake Galloway's condition. He has been taken to his house in Britain, but again, no further updates on that for Jake. Still hoping the best wishes and hoping that he will be able to climb back into a truck sometime in his career. As they continue around, Anderson Reed, fourth quickest in the 41. A great run so far for Anderson Reed. This is not a 2-mile oval, so this is surprising that he's running this fast, but fourth quickest so far at a very flat-out oval here at Texas. You could see these guys possibly hitting, you see 193 for Logan Bradley there, so definitely over 190 through the corners, about 170 through them, and you just hammer it back down the straightaway. Anderson Reed in that 41 truck doing very well, fourth quickest so far. And one girl to point out, Priya McShane, fifth quickest for Rockstar Energy Racing. I believe this is the best truck on RER, him or the 12R, of course. Him being Kev Shearer, who will normally drive this 24. Priya out here testing, fifth quickest so far. Great pace for RER, and that's good to see that some of their rookie prospects or some of their younger prospects will be able to carry this team in the future. Priya has been on RER, I'm pretty sure, since she graduated to the Mountain Dew Custom Series, and she's driven that too, and will drive that too in the MDCS once again this year. Fifth quickest so far for Priya McShane, and that's a big momentous occasion because she has outpaced Jay Jefferson in that 48 truck. Jay just a little bit slower than Priya, so that's great for Priya's future there if she can continue to put down some fast laps and try to get herself maybe to the top of the charts. Seventh quickest, Austin Murray. Of course, Logan Cloud's retirement has opened the door for Austin Murray, if we can find him in that 91 truck. Oh, there it is. It's plain white. There is the number 91 of Austin Murray. Again, Cloud retiring has opened up him into the third position now for as he put down the third fastest lap, a 28.506. Murray excited to be driving for Pedal Metal Racing. He has this truck, was signed to this truck anyway over the offseason, but will be graduating to the Cup Series as well to drive the number 91 car there. He's ready to bring Pedal to Metal Racing back into the limelight and hopefully continue what Logan Cloud was doing last season with great performances. Luke Rainey all over the back of the 77, which is Bobo Jones this weekend here at Texas. But Murray very fast on track. He has one of the best cars in the garage area in both divisions. So hopefully we'll be able to see Murray get back up there and like he was in the regular season last year before his chase collapse at the end of the CRTS season. As Murray moved up to third, we now drop to the eighth driver in line, which is the 00 of Antoine Smith. He hasn't been in many tests this offseason, so that is great speed there for that 00 car. 00 truck, eighth quickest so far, and that is fantastic for Antoine, moving from Evernham in the off season over to SBR, hoping for a more stable ride than going to TSR. So right now, Antoine Smith out here in this truck, eighth quickest, very strong right now. Came close to a win or two last season in the MDCS, but just could not capitalize. Looking to get his first career win in the NSDCA this season for SBR. Continuing on down, TSR absolutely demolishing this top 10. 4 of them in the top 10. Only one in the top 5. That's Riley Spurleytube, the fastest on track. I might have just skipped over the 21. No, there he is. There is Colton Yo in the 21. He would have been driving this truck 2 years ago if he had not mysteriously disappeared over the offseason from TSR. He came back, though, last season in the Molson Modifieds, almost won the title. Now he is right now 9th quickest in this testing session so far after 10 minutes in this TSR number 21. The part-time truck here, I believe it's a brand new truck this season, or it's the old 21 from last season since the 8 equipment has gone over to Kamikaze Motorsports. Right now, this 21 team doing everything they can right today as Brad Stover shoots his way into the top 10, knocking Eli Bright out. But Colton Yo really hitting the setup today, hitting the track. 3/10 off of teammate Riley Spurleytube, though, but that might just come down to experience, as Spurleytube also has some drivers he's been drafting with this race. Colton Yo keeping good pace for a part-time entry for TSR. And Brad Stover, the final driver now in the top 10, if we can find that blue number 53. Of course, DJ Gibson would be driving, drove this 53 last season, got injured at Talladega. Now Brad Stover, the new sign to Zachary Racing, looking to bring some speed out for ZR this season in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, something they have lacked in past years, except for James Ellison at Talladega last year. But Brad Stover looking to be a hot commodity on the track. He drove for Golden Motorsports a few years ago in the Crown Royal Truck Series. He drove, I believe, about 3 or 4 races before he was released, let go, and the team basically closed up shop for full-time competition. So Stover happy to be back in now a competitive car. This is a competitive truck, and he's putting down a competitive lap time, 28.690. Very strong right now for Brad Stover, and that ZR truck is now, you see this group here, about 8 trucks under a blanket, everyone racing together. Draft is key here. This is a pretty wide open track. There's some let off in the corners, but not too much. But these guys are racing hard up here. Hopefully they don't race like they did at Nashville, beating and banging and flipping over in the Cup test. But Jefferson around the outside of Stephen Wallace Jr. in that 98. There's Joseph Strigley, only 31st quickest, so very slow right now with a 29.073 being his fastest lap, and they are all stacked up. I think Strigley's coming down to pit road. That's why everyone's stacked together. This is dangerous. They could be going 4 wide, but no, Ben Yacco in that 83 truck will back out of it. He'll drop probably out of the pack, but these guys continue racing on. Strigley happy to be having a charter this season, will be locked in, so he doesn't have to worry about qualifying days, even nailing a setup to get into the race. Just has to race, hope that he can survive the races, get some money, possibly improve that team, as well as Larry Hagan in the 76 truck, who will be running multiple races for this team this season. It's going to be exciting to see if Larry in the 76 team, since they now have a charter as well, can make the full schedule. Ford Performance Racing has never ran a full schedule in top 3 series competition. Of course, they ran in the RBSTS with Cody Goforth, the now team owner of the team. But Larry Hagan, happy to be driving. I think it's only 6 or 7 races or 14 races on the schedule. I forget. He's splitting it between RER and FPR, 14 to 6 somehow. But it's going to be nice to see that they will be locked into the whole schedule. Hopefully they can make the full season. Now Colton Yo, Antoine Smith 3 wide there as they're really just not beating and banging, but battling back here. Larry might have just got a piece of the wall there trying to not hit Colton Yo, but Antoine Smith flies right by. The rest of the guys says there's a spin. It's a big crash. 3 cars in it, 4 cars in it. That might be Kyle Corbett, not Kyle Corbett. Heavy, heavy contact for 4 guys, torn up, and we are going to go under a red flag with just about 16 minutes left in the session, and that was big. That's the fastest truck on track, Riley Spurley-Tube. They're going to have to bring a backup out, so that fast truck is gone. And what happened up here? Bobo Jones in the 77. We're going to go ahead and slow this down. He's going to come all the way down. He tries to cut off Priya McShane. I don't know if he was trying to come to pit road or what. McShane hits him. He's going to slide up into the outside wall, backs it in. Murray's going to slide right by. Here comes Bobo back down the racetrack. And coming in here, he's going to get hit, front end first by, it looks like, Patrick Smith. Spurley-Tube's just going to get a piece of it there. Heavy hit for both of those guys. And then Morris, oh, this is bad. Nope. Okay, rear of the car. That's fine. Brandon Morris comes pile driving in as well. So 3 torn up and destroyed race trucks. Heavy, heavy contact. Well, 4 torn up and destroyed race trucks. 3 of them could not make it back around. So heavy hit for Bobo. We'll go ahead and watch this in real time now as they headed down the back straightaway. Bobo on the outside, McShane on the inside, and he's just going to come on down and just try to slam the door on her. He gets spun out, and then just nowhere for Patrick Smith to go. He's on the apron, smashes in. Spurley-Tube just clips it, and Morris comes flying in as well. Hopefully all 3 are okay as they are being taken out of their cars. Spurley-Tube, of course, driving it back in that 28. Not happy on the radio, but going to have to go to a backup if he wants to continue in this testing session as the smoke pours out of that race truck. And we'll go ahead and take one more angle of this. We'll go on board, I think, with Bobo Jones here in the 77 truck. as he was racing down. We'll go on the hood cam of Bobo Jones as he headed down into turn 3. Just tried to cut off McShane. Not going to happen. She doesn't want the boys pushing her around and just spins down the racetrack. Nowhere for Patrick Smith to go. And then Morris just comes flying in, hits Bobo as well. Big hit for them. We'll see if they will be able to get back in their race trucks, get out those backups, get out. All of them being taken to the infield care center for checkups, though. Does not seem like any of them are too terribly hurt, maybe just a bit shaken up. All right, after that cleanup, we're back out live for the testing session. Back under green as now they continue to race around. Looking at the bottom of the grid real quick as I was going to before that crash. You got guys, Jacob Rose, slowest on track right now with a 29.228 with right in front of him is Cody Goforth in the 29.140. Then Joseph Strigley at 29.073. And then you got Mac Johnson. We haven't talked about him yet in the 60, if we can go find that GMC truck. He's right now only 30th quickest in Colton Lane's entry, 29.054. Of course, he's a road course ringer and was just acquired. His team, MJ Motorsports, was just acquired by DYI and brought into the satellite for the Molson Modified Series. So that is why you see Mac Johnson out in this truck this weekend. This is part of that deal, so he's happy to be getting a test in a truck, but it is really not going well. 7/10 off of Riley Spurleytube's pace. And the other driver under 29 seconds, or over 29 seconds, is Jesse Turner in the 47 for Onge Auto. If you can find him, there he is, just pacing around, doing his best to keep that truck out. It looks like they're going on a long run because he's fallen off 9/10 from his fastest lap. Looks like they're going for a tire run instead, but that is sad for Jesse Turner to be driving that low, but happy for him to just be on Onge Auto. Hopefully that team will be able to improve as the season goes on. Continuing on around, Patrick Smith, Bobo Jones, Brandon Morris, Riley Spurleytube have all been checked and released. The teams have got their backups out, and Riley Spurleytube is going to be the first one coming out with Patrick Smith right in front of him. So those two are coming out. Patrick Smith, 13th quickest. As we said for Patrick, though, he has really been outperforming in these CFRO tests. At the Cup test, he got the car into the top 10. In these truck tests, he's had top 15 pace. So this could be a good season for CFRO if they have Patrick Smith in the 94 truck more often. Of course, Logan Cloud missing those, will not be having those 6 races. We got another car blown up. It's Mac Johnson in the 60. Looks like that car has finally given up on him. Maybe that's why he was so slow, but that's going to be big for DYI. Monster Motorsports, not DYI anymore. They changed back to Monster Motorsports. But that is the 60 truck blowing up here at Texas. Getting back to Patrick Smith, though, in this number 94 car, really outperforming the CFRO equipment. After last season, Neil and Bradley really ran these cars about 30th quickest, usually most weekends. Patrick Smith out here putting down some monstrous lap times and doing very well so far in these test sessions. It could be interesting to see if Patrick Smith will actually be a key role this season in this 94 part-time entry. As well, he could be just looking at a new truck ride since he has not ran in the truck series since season number 1 when he retired from the NSDCA. Competition. He could be having a great showing on his debut season with another competitive team in a possibly competitive series. Colton Yo has fallen to 9th quickest right now as we take another look back at the top 10. It's Spurleytube, Kukulon, Murray, Benyako, and Reed, your top 5. Pre McShane hanging strong in the top 10 with Jefferson, Antoine Smith, Colton Yo, and Brad Stover remaining your top 10. Eli Bright, Carson Bauer is actually in the 25 truck if we can go find him. It is not the same equipment that he won the title with, but it is the same numbers. These guys are getting real close up there. Carson and the whole Onge Auto team, Tib Foster, Peter Onjak, Carson Bowers, all stepped out of their Cup entries for this test session this weekend so that some of the Onge Auto rookies could get their Cup Series eligibility at the 2 Mile Oval, which is at Texas World. So Kamikaze Motorsports putting Bowers in this 25, hoping to outperform, and he is 13th quickest. So you see it. Maybe it's not necessarily the equipment that's holding back the 25 team. Maybe it's just their lack of drivers because they don't have many full-time drivers outside of Casey Mears and Jacob Rose, and both of them pretty bad on the ovals. Carson Bowers 13th quickest so far for KGM. That is fantastic for them to get such a good run And Patrick Smith, we were talking praise about him. He's just put the truck inside the top 10 fastest with a 28.636. Man, Patrick Smith could be a hot commodity for CFRO this season. 8th quickest right now, possibly getting himself a bonus EUP for a top 10 entry. This is a great performance right now for Patrick Smith out here at Texas, hoping that that speed will be able to continue into the season. But yeah, Carson Bowers, 13th quickest right now, doing very well. Peter Onjak in the 44. I think this is the first time he's been in the 44 truck in a long time since he's just ran the Cup entries and let Daniel Kobza, Daniel Kobza, Austin Delgado, and others drive this 44 truck in tests. Nice to see Peter back out at a test this weekend here at Texas. Spurley Tube back in his backup truck. He's about 2/10 off the pace of his fastest lap, but he's just happy to be getting some more laps in. This could be a great opportunity for him to win races this season, compete for a title. He has the old 88 equipment that Austin Murray drove last season. Jay Jefferson has that 48, but that 88 equipment from last year, nothing to laugh at, and Spurley Tube happy to be in some fast equipment, hoping that these testing sessions go well and he will be able to race this season in the NSDCA. And look at this pack of trucks right here. You got the two Rockstar Energy guys, Smart and McShane. You got Jacob Edson, Antoine Smith, Anderson Reed, I said Jacob Edson, Morris Jefferson, Mac Johnson, as well, Logan Bradley, Patrick Smith, Jacob Rose, Riley Spurley-Tube. You have the fastest and the slowest guys meeting right here, so you're about to see Spurley-Tube blow right past this 90 truck as he pulls up to the back of him. He's going to be slowed up coming off of the corner, but he's going to duck to the inside and fly past the number 90. 3 wide up here, Jefferson, Morris, and Edson. All season 1 guys look like they're just having some fun out on the track as Jay's going to back out of it. I don't think he wants to tear up any more equipment, so he's going to back out of that front pack. But about 10 trucks under a blanket right here, getting some pack racing in. This is probably what you'll see if we do head to Texas in the Crown Royal Truck Series. And geez, Jacob Rose, the gap has just gone. The gap is giant now. I think Spurley-Tube did pit, though. Edson and Bradley dropping to the back as this 8-truck pack continues to battle. Up front, Mac Johnson trying to get everything he can as he's going to use that outside line and power around. Still only 31st quickest, so nothing going right for this 60 team today. Blown engine already and continuing to just be slow out on track. Has not gotten under that 29-second time yet. Checking our damage report to see if anyone other than the 60 has had mechanical failures, and no, that's just the 60 of Mac Johnson. Has very strong speed there in this 60 now. It looks like he's pulling away from that pack and about to use the outside line around Rainey as well, though that might just be the new engine and new tires. We'll see what lap time this gives for this 60 truck as we have 10 minutes left in the testing, and no, almost a 30-second lap time, barely under a 30-second lap time, so really not running that well. Patrick Smith trying not to tear up that truck as Cody Smart now drops his way through this pack. And we got a big pack of guys all racing around. I think Cody Smart might have gotten a piece of the wall there. Is now Patrick Smith working to the outside of Luke Rainey and Brandon Morris, those two Toyota guys that are not affiliated with SBR this season. I think the only 2 Toyota teams that are not. As Anderson Reed pulls away, Reed still 5th quickest. Great run so far for him. Turner 30th, still one of the guys under that 29-second bracket. And it looks like Joseph Strigley actually was able to break into the 28-second lap times. If we can find him on the racetrack, he has, where is he? There he is, all on his own. He has driven a 28.905, so nice to get a little bit more speed out of that. But again, JSR, not very strong. It's an owner-driver partnership here. Strigley, the only driver hired to the team. Not very many full-time employees, and of course based, I believe, out of Canada. So really, this 63 team, they're doing everything they can just to make races this season. Got that charter, hoping that the speed will be able to continue into this season. Jefferson and Perez fighting there. There's Eli Bright, I believe the only TSR guy not in the top 10, and that he is currently 12th fastest, so trying to pick up some pace there. Eli happy to be in some competitive equipment again. The last time he was in that 28 when Riley Spurley-Tube was injured in season number 2 testing at Indianapolis. Eli did not have a good truck last season. I believe the 8 truck was brand new, so he's happy to be out of that and now be in, I believe, the old 28 equipment. So we'll see what he'll be able to do this season, now back in some competitive equipment. TSR looking very strong. All 4 drivers inside the top 12. They were in the top 10, all 4 for a moment. So really TSR might be the team to beat this year. It looks like TSR, P2M, Sauber, and SBR, as well as Anjato, could be the drivers to watch. But just, again, make sure you see those CFRO trucks, that part-time entry as well. Rockstar Energy Racing could sneak their way in if they get the right driver combination. And if Cody Smart and Kev Shearer can definitely outdrive that equipment. Jay Jefferson has gone up to second fastest in the leaderboard, so of course he's going to be up there at the top, but hopefully Riley Spurleytube's time of a 28.307 can continue on as the top. There's no one. It's a 0.13 second gap between first and second. Sebastian Kukulon in third. He's the only other driver to get sub 28.5. Murray real close. Benyako, Reed, and Priya McShane all with a 28.5 time. Patrick Smith, Antoine Smith, and the 21 of Colton Yo. That is your top 10 currently. Bottom of the grid remains Jacob Rose in that 90 truck with a 29.228. Has not improved over this session. The 27 of Cody Goforth, 32nd quickest still. Mac Johnson, 31st quickest, and Jesse Turner, 30th. They have not improved their lap time at all. Jacob Edson in 28th, happy to not be last this time around, as he is 28th quickest with a 28.911. Strigley, I believe, has gained another few spots as he's now past Larry Hagan. And at the back, Kyle Corbett as well. The 57 of Logan Bradley, the 89 of Brandon Morris, the 77 of Bobo Jones after that hard hit. I don't know if he's going to really be pushing it the rest of this weekend. And Eric Monaco in the 72, that is just outside of your top 20 as they go around. There's been a fuel system damage to the number 76 car, and that looks to be a fatal fuel system damage. That might have to be a backup for that team, so they are on pit road trying to work on the fuel system there, getting a new one in and doing the repairs to that truck. That's bad for Ford Performance Racing. They are running the full schedule, but not too funded. They have sponsors. They have Larry Hagan and some funding from TSR, but that's scary to see such a underfunded team, especially just purchasing that charter lease from Sauber Racing Team. That is big for them if they are going to continue this season. That's some big damage to that team. Brad Stover all over the back of the 90. And really, I don't want to say that Kamikaze Motorsports and Jacob Rose are really bad right now. But geez, they are running almost 31-second lap times. Now that could be tires. That could be tire issues, but oh my gosh, there's guys out here. They have tires. Peter Onjak was on old tires. He ran a 30.2. These guys are running 0.8 off of that. It's a brand new truck. You got to give it that. It's brand new equipment. They're testing it out, and Rose maybe isn't the best oval driver, but this truck, it looks like it's just a moving chicane out there currently, as everyone just keeps passing it. And honestly, if I was KGM, I'd just park it now, say it's done. We got enough data, because with 4 minutes left, you see stacking up this group now as Alex Peters tries to run down. Perez is going to try to block it. Now Perez is going to be stuck behind the 90, and it's just a rolling roadblock for this 90 truck right now as they continue down around this track. And now Perez almost going to get into the back of him. I think he gave him a little nose tap there to get him out of the way, but God, they are pacing just so far off the pace. 31.261. Jay Jefferson coming around here with 2 seconds faster. He's on fresher tires, but that's 2-second difference as he flies past the 90. I mean, you got guys back here, Cody Goforth, Mac Johnson probably not running that fast as well. Yeah, Mac's running at least Mac's running a 29.937 at least as they pace on around. Jesse Turner at 29.3. They might have got fresh tires, but geez. Now Luke Rainey, there might be an issue there on the 71, or he's just stacking them up. He might just be stacking them up. Is now look at that. That's a draft train right there of 6 cars just driving past Luke Rainey. Hey, at least Cody Goforth, he's in the draft, so he has some speed. But geez, Jacob Rose just 31, probably 32-second lap times currently. I don't know if that's really gathering too much data there, that number 90 truck. 2.5 minutes left in this testing session. I've run out of things to say, so we're going to go ahead and just watch them as they go around. Keep an eye on the leaderboard as they come on around. Big pack of trucks coming off of 4 there behind this 2-car tandem of Corbett and Murray. They're 3 wide there with Edson, and I believe that was Joseph Strigley throwing it up the middle. But not a lot to say. TSR topping the charts once again. That's not a big surprise. Neither is the Sauber Racing Team Pedal to Metal SBR on Giotto up there. But Priya McShane and Patrick Smith and Colton Yo, 3 drivers. They're all Mountain Dew Custom Series drivers and won't be driving full seasons for their team in the trucks. But Priya McShane really outperforming what Kev Shearer did in this 24 truck. 7th quickest so far and has been running pretty solidly through this entire testing session. As well in 8th, Patrick Smith again. He is going to be a key role in this team, as I think that's the 90 truck pitting back there. So finally he's off of the track and they're going to bring it on in. Hopefully just park it. There's a minute left in the testing session as he goes down to the attention of his crew on the right side of the screen. But Patrick Smith putting down some solid lap times, has been solid all testing session and just been improving each time he comes out. This could be a key factor. If Patrick Smith gets some 94 truck rides, that could be the big thing to get that truck up in owner's points, because at the end of last season, that truck did not do so well in owner's points. It is chartered, and it does need to finish inside the top 35 in owner's points to make the cut and not have that charter revoked. So they're going to have to hope that 94 can outperform its equipment and run very well this season to keep that charter. About a minute left in testing. Just want to remind you guys that in a few minutes after this stream, or it should be at least a few minutes after this stream, that we will be going live from Texas World for the Cup cars. That in-universe happens the day after this, so the guys that are at this Texas test can go ahead and just drive up the road to Texas World, drive a couple hours to Texas World Speedway. But we will be having that Cup test there soon. As we continue around, coming to the end of testing, it will be Riley Spurleytube topping the charts, the only driver with a 28.3, almost a 28.2, so a very fast truck in that number 28. As we got a spin, and Jacob Rose is in it, and it's a big one, big hit back there, as everyone's rushing on in, and that's a way to end this testing session, as they're still wrecking at the back. There's the 76 of, I believe that's Larry Hagan, and well, we should continue it so the cars can continue on around if we catch any more crashes, but that's going to be the second crash in turn 3 and 4. Larry Hagan's truck is destroyed in that 76 equipment. As we head on around, taking a look to see who is not in that incident there as they continue to pace on around. Strigley's out there. So some of the underfunded teams not in it, but Ford Performance Racing heavy hitting. Jacob Rose, I saw, was the first one going around. That's kind of scary, especially as he has been a roadblock this race. So hopefully he was not the reason for this incident up here. But we got to go ahead and take a look and see who actually was in it. And there it is right there. Fastest truck on track, Riley Spurleytube, is going to have Jesse Turner come down and try to throw the block on him again. I guess it worked so well for Bobo, so he wanted to do it to himself. Turner spins down. Rose actually gets hooked. Priya McShane gets a piece of it. That's heartbreaking. We'll go to the Rose incident earlier. Just want to make sure Turner gets through it all right. And that he does, as you see the field splitting up front. But as Turner got spun out by Spurleytube, really nowhere for Spurleytube to go. He just tries to cut off that number 47, or number whatever truck. But Rose is just going to get clipped, spun into the outside wall. He's going to hit the wall with that side, but uh-oh. He's facing driver's side. No, he spins it back around. Cody Smart just piles in. Larry Hagan gets a piece of it. And a big hit for Logan Bradley. That's heartbreaking for Zachary Racing. They were trying to get through this test nice and clean, but Jacob Rose, heavy hit. Austin Murray just drives into the side of Logan Bradley for no reason at all. But that is a heavy hit for that. We also got to take a look at Peter Onjak, if he got a piece of it. No, he got through it with Larry Hagan, but geez. Heavy crash is there, and once again, it's another driver trying to cut off down into the corner, and I don't know what is up with these guys today. Jesse Turner, only 30th quickest. He also could have been called a moving roadblock as Spurleytube just gets into him, and we're going to slow this down as he goes spinning, pirouetting into the outside wall, bounces off, spins back down the track. Of course, bank tracks, you got to watch out when they come back down. Rose just gets clipped in the rear. And then Priya McShane hits him pretty hard, but Rose spinning up. He's going to hit the outside wall, driver's side first. Thankfully, when he comes back down the track, he does not get hit at speed in the driver's side, and it's in the rear because that could have been scary if he was hit right here instead of in the rear. So great job for him getting that gathered back up so quickly. But just coming on in, you have no time to break. He's on the apron. Cody Smart flies in, rear ends him. Larry Hagan's going to have nowhere to go in that 76 truck, and the 90 of Rose back into the outside wall, spins back down. Cody Smart's truck is destroyed. And coming on in here, Logan Bradley's going to hit him pretty hard, but it's on the opposite side of the front end, thankfully. Bradley down into Cody Smart, and a heavy hit for the 90. The front end completely knocked off of the thing. The radiator's taken out. Heavy hit there as Corbett just gets through. Heavy crash to end this testing session here at Texas, and a lot of torn up sheet metal as we come to the end of the testing session, and that will be the end of it right there. Riley Spurleytube does top the charts. Jay Jefferson's second quickest. Kukulon, Murray, and Ben Yako, your top 5. We thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully all the drivers have been taken out of their cars, getting ready to be taken to the infield care center, so hopefully they are not too banged up either. But we thank you guys so much for tuning in to the NSDCA here for this Crown Royal Truck Series test. We got a cup test coming up after this as well. Speed Weeks officially begins with Daytona testing for the CRTS and SDCS. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.